尊敬的李昌刚副部长，尊敬的任洪斌会长，尊敬的谭文宏副社长, the Honourable Kent Smith, Minister of Fisheries and Agriculture of Nova Scotia, cher Olivier Desmarais, Premier vice-président de Power Corporation et président du conseil d'administration du CCBC, dear Graham Shantz, President of the CCBC, the Honourable Scott Bryson, Vice Chair of the CCBC, l'Honorable Martin Conchon, Vice-président du conseil d'administration du CCBC, 各位来宾, ladies and gentlemen, mesdames et messieurs, bonsoir à tous et à toutes. Good evening, everybody. 大家晚上好。首先，我要感谢加州贸易理事会为筹办这次活动所付出的努力。我也想向今晚出席的中国嘉宾和所有朋友送上热烈的问候。I would like to extend my sincere gratitude to the Canada-China Business Council for their efforts in organizing this event. Votre engagement constant et votre soutien inestimable continuent de jouer un rôle crucial dans l'accompagnement des entreprises face aux complexités des marchés chinois et canadiens. It is always a pleasure to welcome so many Canadians who have made the journey to China, whether to strengthen long-standing partnerships or to cultivate new connections. Your presence here tonight and participation in the Business Forum speaks volumes about enduring connections between our countries. As many of you know, this year marks 55 years since the establishment of diplomatic relations between Canada and China. As we reflect on the evolution of diplomatic ties between our countries, it is important to recognize the progress made as well as the deep connections and complexities we have navigated in recent years. We cannot deny that we are now living through a period of profound global uncertainty, an era shaped by shifting geopolitics and economic volatility. Yet within this uncertainty, there is also so much opportunity. Canada's new government has set an ambitious and innovative vision for the direction of our country. The government is acting with urgency and determination to implement new policies to build a stronger, more competitive, and prosperous economy. Tomorrow, the government of Prime Minister Carney will table its first budget, a budget that will include generational investments to build Canada strong. The scale and speed of recent trade shifts and technological developments mean that Canada's economic strategy must also change dramatically. We are focused on transforming our economy from one that is reliant on a single trade partner to one that is stronger and more resilient to global shocks. That is why the Prime Minister recently committed to doubling Canada's non-US exports over the next decade, a very ambitious goal that will require increased engagement with Indo-Pacific economies like ASEAN and APEC partners, including, of course, with China. You can see this momentum reflected in the Canada-China relationship, where we have, as has been said, reached a turning point. On Friday, Prime Minister Carney, in his meeting with Chinese President Xi Jinping on the margins of the APEC summit in Korea, affirmed their joint commitment to renewing the relationship between our two countries in a pragmatic and constructive way, and they discussed a framework to deepen cooperation across a range of areas, from clean and conventional energy to agricultural, manufacturing, climate change cooperation, and international finance. And they directed officials to move quickly to resolve outstanding trade issues and irritants. And I can say that when our leaders tell us to move fast, we say, absolutely. I would also like to express appreciation that today China's Ministry of Foreign Affairs moved with that speed and announced that China has reinstated Canada's approved destination status, a move that builds on our efforts to enhance air connectivity. A very welcome move, as we can see from everybody in this room. The meeting between our leaders followed months of sustained engagement between other leaders, ministers, senior officials, including the Prime Minister's September meeting with Premier Li Qiang in New York. Many of you are aware, and has been mentioned, that just 2 weeks ago, Foreign Minister Anita Anand met with Foreign Minister and Director Wang Yi, where they highlighted the 20th anniversary of the Canada-China Strategic Partnership and discussed how that partnership can be renewed and refocused to meet shared objectives. The ministers also welcomed the recent Joint Economic and Trade Commissioner meeting in August, the first since 2017, where we had the supreme pleasure of hosting Vice Minister Li Qiangang. I would also like to take this opportunity to thank him personally for his personal engagement so far and for the hard work that I know we will be doing together in the coming days, weeks, and months. So I guess then we should get our sleep now while we can. On the margins of APEC, International Trade Minister Maninder Sidhu also met with his counterpart, Minister of Commerce Wang Wentao, to focus on advancing new export opportunities for Canadian industries, removing trade barriers, and attracting investment. Some of you heard this morning from Minister of Agriculture and Agri-Food, Heath MacDonald, as he wrapped up a week-long visit to engage with Chinese officials and to support Canadian agricultural and agri-food stakeholders as we work to resolve trade issues, reinforce partnerships amongst industry members, and reaffirm our commitment to Canadian stakeholders affected by Chinese tariffs. Looking ahead, the Prime Minister accepted President Xi's invitation to visit China at a mutually convenient time. And I very much look forward to welcoming him here, as I'm sure you all do as well. In the meantime, we will continue to work at a very rapid pace to advance progress on key issues between Canada and China and to strengthen ties between our two countries. These are already substantial and in no small part due to your own efforts. One of our most consequential trading relationships is the one that we have with China. For over 2 decades, China has remained our second largest trading partner, but also our second largest investor in Canada. I'm pleased to see that what Canada has to offer is in demand in the Chinese market. From our world-class agri-food products to our expertise in education, financial services, and sustainable infrastructure, Canadian capabilities continue to resonate strongly with Chinese partners and Chinese consumers. And in the energy sector, Canada has a crucial role to play as a clean, secure, and reliable provider. Canada can help China simultaneously meet its growing energy needs and climate goals. Through the expanded Trans Mountain Pipeline, China has emerged as the top buyer of Canadian crude oil. By August of this year, our crude exports had surpassed $3 billion Canadian, by representing the largest Canadian export to China by value. While there are incredible opportunities to expand our trade, we also need to be mindful that commercial engagement will continue to carry some risks. Certainty and predictability are oftentimes not possible to secure. Our agricultural, agri-food, and seafood exporters who today face restrictions are keenly aware of this, as are any of the manufacturers who have rare earth magnets among their components. Canada is committed to taking the necessary steps to address trade challenges wherever they are and to advance cooperation to shape a forward-looking economic relationship. So let me address a question that I'm sure many of you are asking tonight. What does this turning point in the bilateral relationship mean for the CCBC membership? To me, it means opportunities for Canadian businesses, workers, and families. It creates a path to address current issues. It means that we are counting on you to use your networks, ingenuity, and resources to invest in the future of this relationship. Since the establishment of diplomatic relations in 1970, Canada has been a reliable trading partner to China, with each and every one of you contributing through your own personal and professional engagement. We look to you, the business community represented so strongly here tonight, as essential partners in shaping the next chapter of Canada's relationship with China. Your continued engagement forms a part of the foundation we are laying. You have a vital role to play in shaping our economic future, furthering our trade diversification objectives, and strengthening our resilience in a complex global economy. And as we continue to contribute to growing the Canadian economy, I encourage all of you, our entrepreneurs, investors, thought leaders, and industry leaders, to forge new connections and bring Canadian excellence to China and beyond. The Government of Canada is here to support you, whether it is in identifying new opportunities, helping with your risk assessments and mitigation efforts, developing diversification strategies, or dealing with market access issues. Thank you to the Canada-China Business Council for your continued efforts in convening stakeholders and promoting opportunities that benefit both our economies. Your robust network of members and long-standing presence in Canada and China are an asset in advancing bilateral commercial engagement. As Prime Minister Carney said, it is time to be bold. How we respond to today's challenges will shape Canada's path for decades. By making generational investments at home and by building deeper partnerships abroad, we will build Canada strong. So let us continue to work together with purpose and pragmatism towards long-term success to build the Canada-China relationship strong. And on that note, I would like to wish you all a very pleasant evening. 祝大家度过一个愉快的夜晚。Merci 大家，merci 大家，merci，thank you，谢谢大家。